That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What is successful marketing, and how do I implement it? Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome. Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it up.
Hello, my Dark Horse friends and family. Welcome back to your daily dose of Change My Life in 15 minutes or less learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, infinitely more importantly, you are a driven entrepreneur, and you are here because you are ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. Yep, I'm hitting you here with yet another daily success episode on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur as we dive deep into success with actionable tips and actionable advice and steps designed to help you level up your game, because as we already know, when it comes to success, there are no real shortcuts except for taking those little steps toward your goal every single day. Now, today we're going to talk about marketing and mindset. And see, the mindset you need to have for a successful business of any type, whatever type of business you might be in. See, if you can't get into the right mindset, then you're not going to get anything of significance done in your life. Why? Well, because getting crap done is hard. And without the right mindset, you're not going to get out there and get her done. All right? So let me start off something real odd here. So before we go down any rabbit holes, I want to put out a clarifying fact. And I've talked a lot about serving your audience and giving back to the community and messages like that. And I wholly believe in that, right? But let's not get that confused that I might mean that money isn't a good thing to get. I mean, it's a key factor in keeping your business alive. So I will never shy away from the fact that money is good. And money's a good thing to have. I mean, let's be real for a moment, shall we? Money is a good thing. Money, or let me rephrase, good money makes the world go around. And if you don't believe me, let's go a few days or a few months without any. Yeah. Oh, wait, you have? Okay, well, me too. Not fun, right? So hence the reason I have this podcast really is to help keep the good money flowing into your business so that you can keep serving your audience and giving back to your community. All right, so all that's out of the side, right? Now, let's jump in today. I want to talk about a successful business mindset. Now, I'm sure that most of you understand the concept of a mindset is everything, right? I mean, if we're talking about a family mindset, you might want to have a mindset of caring and concern and empathy for your loved ones. If you're talking about the world of fitness, you might want to have a mindset of being healthy and strong and fast and fit and so on. In a personal development world, you're going to want to have goals, and you're going to understand your values and beliefs, right? You're going to want to know how to have a happy life. Now, when it comes to business, you're going to have a mindset for that as well. So if your business is to be successful, be that online or offline or both, then you're going to have a mindset of selling, because you are selling. And ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. If you're in business, you are selling. Now, I've heard of all these programs, right? And all these advertisers that say, you can do this without selling, right? And I think those programs and those advertisements, they're out there because so many of us do not want to sell. So that generates all that advertising for those programs that say, hey, do this without selling, right? Well, to that I say BS. 2 letters. BS. And of course, that's a capital BS. And of course, there is selling. Don't be fooled, right? You're going to be selling. They're just calling it something else, right? Oh, we'll send a lead to you and you just read a script. Well, at the end of the day, if you're not selling, you're not in business. So let's just get that mindset straight. Now, I get it. There's ways to market yourself and your business and your products and services where it's more passive with your selling, and maybe it makes it more inbound selling versus outbound selling. But at the end of the day, you are still selling. So get over the fact that you might not like to sell, right? Especially if you want to be, and more importantly, stay in business. So if you don't have sales skills, well, then you need to get out there and get them. Remember John Molyneux, the sales samurai from episode 15? Because he made himself be a door knocker to hone his sales skills. So, and he had a number of other tips. So go back and check that one out if you haven't listened to it already. Now, if you have some sales skills, but you're not good at them, or you're uncomfortable with them, well, then you're going to need to practice them to get good at them and get very comfortable with them. You can, let's liken this to asking someone for a date, right? It's weird, or it might even be tough the first few times. The first few 100 times, but you just still got to get out there and do it. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game, right? Yeah. Here's another example. I can think back to my days where I used to love to go out dancing, right? We'd go out and hit the clubs, me and a couple of buddies, and then I would always go into the club, and I'd walk in with this mindset of, she's here. I know she's here. I don't know which one she is, but I'm gonna find her. And I walked in with that mindset, and it worked, right? Because I knew I would have to get through the first, 5 or 10, right? Conversations with ladies until I would find her. Now, I know, this is such a guy example, right? But if you think about it, it's true. Oh, and by the way, guys, the confident, funny approach works best. All right. Let me get back on topic. I'm sorry. Okay, so everything you do to sell begins with what? It begins with successful marketing. Because if you're not able to communicate your message to the market successfully, well, then you're going to be making your sales efforts a whole lot more difficult. However, on the flip side, if you do it well, you'll be making your efforts for sales a whole lot easier. In fact, if you're marketing really well, people will be calling you to ask you to sell to them, right? They'll be saying, hey, wouldn't it be awesome? They'll be saying to you, hey, can I buy from you? I mean, think about it. How awesome would it be to pick up your phone and someone's like, hello? Yeah, Tracy. Yeah, this is Tracy. Would you take my money, please? Now, that would be a great conversation, right? So, remember, if you're struggling with getting a sale, you're probably not educating them through your marketing. You see, your marketing should be the opening door for you. Thus, successful selling begins with successful marketing. So let's talk about successful marketing, right? Successful marketing targets very specific customers with a very specific problem, right? That's why so many people are out there saying niche down or niche down, depending on who you're talking to. Know your core audience. Identify your tribe is what you'll hear me say. Identifying your tribe is huge because, well, I mean, if you're out there throwing a big net, right, you're not going to be making a lot of money. In most cases, you're actually be throwing away a lot of money with that big net. You have to be specific. You have to be going out there to target that specific customer who has that specific problem. You need to know just how to find that customer. Who are they? Where are they? You could, I've heard this described as the, let's call it the 1,000-person challenge, right? Let's say this challenge centers all around the idea that there's 1,000 people crowded on your lawn, in your driveway, or in your parking lot of your business. Now, you've got to stand at the door of your home or your business and shout to the 3 or 4 people that are in that crowd to get you to get them to buy your services. So what do you say? Now, you're not shouting to all 1,000 people, right? I mean, they're not going to hear your message. Heck, most of them are going to ignore it anyway, right? You're trying to get your words to the 3 or 4 or 10 people that are truly your perfect customer and would be interested in talking to you. So what do you say? Remember, solving specific problems for specific customers. Now, successful marketing creates market awareness for your product, right? Yes, it does. That's the real key goal here. Whether you're marketing a product or a service, good marketing creates awareness. Now, while we're on the topic of awareness, if your prospect has zero awareness of your product or service, then they're at stage 1 in their level of sophistication, which, I mean, let me uncomplicate it. It simply means they don't know you. They don't know who you are. They don't know your product. They don't know your service. They just don't know how awesome you are, right? All right, that's easy enough. So at this point, your job and your marketing efforts job are all about getting them to know you, to introduce your product, your service, or your offering. See, I find often at this level, prospects do not even know that they have a problem that you can solve, right? More often than not, it's probably a problem or something they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And they're looking at it like, oh yeah, I've figured out a way around to manage it, right? It's just something they figure it's a part of doing business or it's a part of their life. So now, enter you and your product and service. You step in and you make them aware of the problem. You shine a light on it. And then you shine the light on your perfect solution. Now watch as they start to pay attention and what you have to say. All right. Now, successful marketing also provides pre-sale decision-making information for your prospect. And it's just what it sounds like. It's all the important pre-sale decision-making information that is helping them make a decision. That way, when they finally, they go through a cycle, when they finally enter the buying time part of their cycle for their business and they sit down and they're ready to go, one of the best things that you'll ever do for your customer is help them be well informed. Right? Now, whether they buy from you or not, right? I would encourage you to encourage them to be well informed, to do their research. Do not try to hide things or hold them back. Because remember, a prospect can easily just get out there and Google you, look you up on Facebook, look you up on Google, LinkedIn, right? They'll find out everything that you might be trying to hold back. And that can easily lose you a deal or a sale. So be honest, be upfront with people. Give them the information they need to make a decision to buy, whether it's with you or someone else. Now, successful marketing allows your customer to decide how they feel about you. Yeah, right? Oh, and by the way, they might not like you. They might not want to do business with you. And it's my personal opinion that if they don't like you and they do business with you, you will not enjoy the transaction, and at the end of the day, it's probably not even worth the revenue it generates. So, look, here's the thing. We all have enough crap in our lives, right? Especially with this COVID thing going on, right? We got enough crap in our lives. Why would we want to do business with someone we don't like? So, why do it, right? Let them move on to the next guy that actually resonates with them. Heck, I would even go so far as to encourage you to help facilitate the move. Look, at the end of the day, you both will be happier and they will remember you for the time that you took to connect them with someone that they resonated with. And there may be a time when they engage with someone that they think would resonate with you and they'll refer them to you. Huh? Now, this brings us around a circle to successful marketing also allows you to build trust with a customer, right? So if they're referring people back to you because you helped them find someone they resonated with, right, that's building trust. So if they do like you, well, that allows you to give them all the reasons why they should be doing business with you, not just once, but on an ongoing basis. Successful marketing, as I mentioned earlier, can eliminate the need to sell. Whoa, wait a minute. that brings us full circle, doesn't it? I mean, I started off by saying, you know what? If you don't like to sell, well, tough, right? Get over it. You're going to have to learn to sell. Selling is a part of being in and staying in business. But now I just kind of included with that, if you're really good at your marketing, if you have successful marketing and you get your message in front of the right people who have a problem that you can solve and they resonate with you, you can nearly eliminate the need to sell. Why? Well, because a customer has nearly made the decision on their own. Yeah. Now, this to me is the most powerful way of selling, right? So let me ask you, right? Think about it for a moment. Which would you prefer? That whole overt, up in your face, all up in your grill, push, prod type of selling. We're seeing a lot of that on Facebook these days. I don't know about you, but it really turns me off, and it kind of closes the door to me on those folks trying to sell to me, because they're trying to make the selling decision for me, right? I kind of like making my own decisions. Now, what about if you do it more covertly, right? Where you're now empowering them with the information. You're building the trust and the rapport, and they are making the decision to buy on their own. Heck, they're probably not even knowingly making that decision while they're in a sales discussion with you. They're probably, I don't know, chilling with their buddy, having dinner with their spouse, saying something like, this guy's been chatting with me, or this gal's been chatting with me. And what they've been saying has actually been making a lot of sense. Seems like a pretty cool guy or gal, and I kind of feel like I can trust him. I think I'm going to go for it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give him a call in the morning. Yeah, I'm going to give him a call and say, you know what? Let's give this a shot. And then the next thing you know, they call you up and they ask you to sell them something. Your prospect has asked you to buy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where you want to be. That is the one way I can think of nearly eliminating sales entirely and still be in business. All right? Now, get out there, run your race, get your results, and let me hear about them. I mean, really. Email me, Tracy@darkhorseschooling.com, and let me know your results. All right? Until tomorrow, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.